Hello and welcome to this live stream. I have come live after 4 days now. The last time I came, it was day 14 of my 75 hard challenge. So today I'm in the day 18 of the 75 hard challenge. Last 3 days I did not come live because I was kind of busy and sometimes I had no motivation to come online. So here I am just to give the updates where I am currently, share my progress, and share quite a few lessons I have learned by reading the book. I'm currently reading this book, How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big by Scott Adams. Um, I've read quite a lot in the last 4 days. I'll try to share whatever lessons I can remember. I'll refer the book because there is a lot I have read. So there is no one particular thing I wanted to share. I want to share today. I'll just go through the books and I have made some notes or highlights. I'll share those lessons here. So just to give an update, I'm in the 18th day today of the 75 hard challenge. Successfully completed 17 days and 18 days almost done. If I just finish my leftover water, which is only so much now, have my 2 meals, evening snack right after this live and dinner after I go to work and come back. So the progress has been good so far. It's going good. I have not faced any big issues in following the 75 hard challenge, but nevertheless, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident. I have built a lot of confidence and self belief in the last 18 days, 17 days, and today is the 18th day. So it's going good. Like when I started the 75 hard challenge, I shared that I'm also overlapping this with a fat loss phase where I'm trying to lose fat. Just to update about that, it's been 17 days now. I'm seeing my weight is moving a little bit downwards, and not not so not 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 the kind of progress I would expect, and I've kept it purposefully slow because anyways I've added two workouts in a day, right? I'm walking 45 minutes extra apart from my strength training daily, and I'm also walking twice on the weekends. So I just wanted to try with without changing, without reducing the quantity of food I'm eating. So currently it's not very conclusive if it is working or no. I can see my weight is going down. My measurement has gone down a little bit. I'll see this week. By the end of this week, what will be my progress, and based on that, I'll adjust my diet. I have to reduce my calorie intake so that I can lose fat effectively. I am losing now, but it is, I think, on a slower side. Okay. So if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say 75 hard, 75 hard is a mental toughness challenge which is designed in such a way that the tasks are very easy. I have to um, do 5 tasks a day, but I cannot miss even single day for the next 75 days. Okay. For 75 days, I have to complete all these tasks without fail. Task number one is to fix a diet and stick with the diet. There'll be no cheat meals, there'll be no refeeds, no breaks, nothing. I have to follow a strict diet for 75 days. No eating junk, no alcohol, um, nothing of that sort. Like I have to have a fixed diet and just follow it. I have to drink 1 gallon of water daily, which is 3.8 liters, which I'm doing, which I mostly do except for weekends. I wouldn't do it earlier, but now on the weekends also I'm doing it. Um, Task number three is to complete two workouts in a day. Each workout has to be at least 45 minutes, and one of the workouts must be outdoors. Okay, so I have chosen walking as my second workout. First workout is my regular strength training in the gym. So 6 days I'm doing strength training, Monday to Saturday. Sunday I'm doing two walking workouts. I'll go for two walks of 45 minutes. Task number 4 is I have to read 10 pages of non-fiction book daily without fail. I love reading books. I have been reading books for the last 8 years. It has been life changing for me reading books. I enjoy reading books, but I don't do it on a daily basis. Sometimes I miss. Sometimes I start reading a book, and if it is interesting, I'll read it daily. I'll keep on reading it 1 hour, 2 hours sometimes. Sometimes I don't read at all. Sometimes I start reading a book. If it is not very interesting, I'll stop in between. Maybe I'll not read it for some days and then continue reading it. I have stopped reading lot of books midway. So that is also there. But now, as per the challenge, I have to read only one book continuously. So I'm reading this book, How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big, which I had read around 7.5 years back. Which is it's a wonderful book, very very powerful lessons to learn here. So I'm relearning these lessons, and uh, I'm actually surprised so many things already have in my mind. I kind of ingrained in myself after I've read this book. And task number 5 is to take a progress picture daily, which I'm taking and posting on social media. So just to summarize, task number 1, fix a diet and follow the diet. Task number 2, 1 gallon of water daily, 3.8 liters. Task number 3 is to do 2 workouts daily. One workout should be minimum 45 minutes. Both workouts should be minimum 45 minutes, and one workout must be outdoors. Task number 4 is to read 10 pages of a non-fiction book. Task number 5 is to take progress pictures. And I have been doing all these tasks for the last 17 days, and today is 18th day. I've completed most of the tasks. So what I'm doing in these lives is I'm sharing the lessons I'm reading from the book. Uh, so I finished one book, Gorilla Mindset, and this is the second book I'm reading in the last 18 days as a part of 75 Hard Challenge. So I did not come live for the last 3 days, day 15, 16, and 17. Today is day 18. I've read a lot of things, lot of pages. So I'll just refer the book and share the lessons I have learned. So one lesson is about recognizing your talent and knowing when to quit. Recognizing your talent means there is always something which you are inclined to. You have talent in some or the other thing. Everybody has some talent or the other. Okay, how to recognize this talent? What Scott is the author says is that there may be something which you might be doing again and again. Nobody has to tell you to do it, but you somehow show interest in certain things. And more often than not, whenever you have a talent in something what you're doing, when you're slightly better at it compared to other people, when you're good at it, you have more interest in that. You might have seen some kids who are good at singing, some good kids who are good at extracurricular activities, dancing, acting. Some kids are good at sports, so they go on to do well in those areas because it interests them, because they're already good at doing those. They feel good after doing it, right? So you may go back in your childhood and see what you were good at, something which makes you feel good after doing. So those are the things we have to look for, and you might have a talent there, and whenever you have interest in something, uh, that will be that may be an opportunity for you to base your work around, to make money in that. And Scott says is, um, you were probably doing it when you were 10 years old, something which you were doing when you're 10 years old. So one thing I was not doing when I was 10-year old, but I always wanted to be strong. I always wanted to have this, um, ultimate masculine strength, when even when I was small. Okay, but I was not strong. I was a weak and skinny kid, and that is what drew me to go to gym again and again and again, and that is how I again fell back into fitness. And Rest is history. I'm a fitness coach now. So that is one thing I can connect back from this lesson. The second thing is, when should you quit something? Like, you may like something and you may want to make it as a business, or something you want to sellable, make it as a sellable service or something. But what Scott says is, if something doesn't start well, like if you start doing something, when I started fitness coaching, when I started my own gym, it did really well in the initial stage. And if something doesn't work when you start, it will never work no matter how much effort you put. There has to be some interest, there has to be someone who is interested in what you're doing, or someone who is interested in paying for what you're doing. Okay, that is one more lesson I learned. He calls it as a X factor. X factor is something like, it may not be the best quality service, it may not be the best product, but somehow it interests people. Okay, so he shares certain examples here, but I don't remember the examples about some TV shows. Like, there are some TV shows. He shared a particular example of, since he's an American, he shows up. So he shares an example of Simpsons, the Simpsons uh, show on the TV, animated show. So the initial episodes of Simpsons were really really bad. They were not well done, but it was it created a lot of interest, and it is one of the most successful and popular animated shows, right, in the US. So that is one example he shares. If I can share my example, when I started out as a coach, I was pathetic as a coach. If I see back five, go back 5 years, um, I did nothing much rather than just sharing knowledge. And one thing I did well was to teach people how to exercise. That is something which most gyms still don't do today. And that was the X factor. And I cared about people. I talked to people for minutes and hours when they came to the gym for inquiry, or even when I was constructing the, I was getting the gym ready. There used to people who come and inquire. I used to talk to them nicely, because I had this service oriented mindset. That was different. That was the X factor. And then I have learned, I have become a better coach. Uh, Ultimately, I realized, okay, people seek results. Results are the most important thing when it comes to any service. So I have improved over time. I'm still improving, but there was an X factor when I started. So that is how I stuck with being a fitness coach and running a gym for 5 years now. Okay. So another lesson is about practice. You can get better at anything for that matter, if you practice. And there are people who can practice. It is again, he says there are people who don't practice, like they don't like practicing. And especially if you're not good at something, you will hate practicing. um, Again, it depends. If you're someone who would like to practice, you can use it as a strength. You can learn anything. But there are people who will not love practicing. For them, it is not the right choice, right? Because we get this advice from people like, you can you have to just practice, 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 and you'll get better. But for some people, it will not work. And very, very, very powerful lesson he shares about is a success formula. He shares that for every skill you acquire doubles the odds of your success. It is something to do with managing your odds of success. So it is not exactly double. He shares it in detail later on. It is not exactly double, but it is a good expression to use to catch attention of people. So what he means by that is, if you're excellent in one skill, and if you have two skills, complementary skills, which are good enough, you will always beat the person who is excellent in one skill. If I take my example, when I started, I had a lot of knowledge, like at least a workable knowledge of how fat loss will work, how muscle building will work. um, about nutrition, because it had worked on me. I thought, oh, this will work for everybody. And the way I shared it was, okay, do this, this, this. I'll give you a training plan. I'll teach you exercise. I'll also give you how much protein you have to eat. I'll also give the method I use, which is good. Like, it is a skill I have learned. Okay, it is a knowledge I have, which I can share. But if I'm not, if I'm not a good communicator, if I don't talk well to people, if I cannot engage with people, then it will not work so well. But if I learn the skill of engaging people, learn the skill of showing empathy to people, learn the skill of understanding people, learn the skill of listening what the other person is saying, then I am a better coach, right? And then another skill, if I have to add it, is if I there one of the problems with coaching is there is a lot of misreportings. Okay, people, a lot of times they'll talk superficially. When I ask something, they'll give some um, response as though they are in autopilot. If I ask, are you how is your diet going, they say it's going good. Okay, but I have to recognize if how much is truth in that. And I have uh, over the years, I've learned to read people's expression and the way they are saying. Okay, I can catch people who are not really following a diet, and then I'll ask a follow-up question, and then I'll ask another follow-up question, and then I can dig deeper and uh, get to know if they are really doing what they are saying. And misreporting is a big problem when it comes to fitness coaching, because people are doing a lot of stuff which they don't really consider important to share. Sometimes they may not be lying really, but misreporting is a major issue when it comes to fitness coaching, because they are there with me for 1 hour in the gym, maybe 2 hours, but the rest 22 hours what they do is up to them. And a lot of times people are not mindful what they are doing, and that ends up being misreporting. So that is again a skill. And let's say if you have a lot of knowledge, you want to share that knowledge with people, but you're camera shy. Like, I was very camera shy when I started. I did not create content on the social media, Instagram, Facebook. I was shy in front of camera. But then once I started doing it, I have become more comfortable with camera. My communication is has improved a little bit. Even though I'm not a reels kind of guy, I'm not a short content kind of guy. I've created many reels, and even though it's a struggle every time to create a reel, I do it. But I'm very comfortable when I speak like this on a live, when it's a long form video or long form content, and there is no script. And there is a script, then stumble, fumble, and stutter. I miss a lot of things. But when I'm speaking without a script, impromptu like this, I don't really need anything. You know, I'm more comfortable like this. So that is a skill, like you have to develop as a person who wants to share knowledge, create impact. You have to be on social media. You have to learn how to speak to a camera. There is no other way. You cannot escape. But this will multiply my impact. This will definitely multiply my impact. Help me reach more and more people. It is a skill I have developed and still developing, still getting better. Okay, and he says it is always better to learn new things. It is always better to be in a learning mode. Anything and everything that interests you, it's okay to learn, and nothing will go waste, because it is a skill. Again, learning itself is a skill. And if you learn certain things, your brain becomes better, and you have better ideas, and you will be able to solve problems in an other unrelated area. It will happen because learning is nothing but exercise for your brain. Reading is nothing but exercise for your brain. You are exposing yourself to new ideas, new kind of thinking method, and it will never go in waste. Okay, so uh, that is the other thing he shares. Okay. And then there is he talks about the math of success. You need to have certain knowledge, working level knowledge, skill, basic understanding of few things so that you can succeed. And he has made a list of things and also given explanation for each of these things, which is again, a lot of pages. I have read through this in the last 4 days. Okay, let me see if I marked something I can share about it. Okay, nothing very specific to share. Okay, the something about. Okay, so I'll share the list of things which you should pay attention to. What Scott has given is public speaking, psychology, business writing, accounting, design, the basics of design, conversation, how to have conversations, overcoming shyness, having a second language in the context of US, at least they have English and other language, they have people from other ethnicity, a lot of Spanish people, German people. So here in India, it is like every state has a different language, and it is a good. It is good to know more than one language. You can do better. At least in India, I would say you should know your local language. For me, I'm from Karnataka, so Kannada, Hindi, because you can cover most of North India and probably most of India because of Bollywood, Hindi, and the politics. Hindi is very well known to people in India, and English. If you know these three, you can manage yourself at least with the educated crowd. And if you're moving to some other state where they have a local language, like most of the South India, Maharashtra, Odisha, um, Gujarat, they have their own language. Okay, so if you learn a little bit of local language, if you're stationed in a different state of other than your state, then it will always help. If you can always have better conversation with people, you will get help from people when you speak in their language. Okay, and then he says something about golf, but it is not, at least in the Indian context, it will not be helpful. Proper grammar, you should have proper understand a few things about using proper grammar, very common things. You If you don't use proper grammar, then you will come off as uneducated or mm, not mm, not competent enough to other people. This is in the uh, this is in case of business setting or work setting. Grammar is important. Persuasion, how you know persuade people, and you have this is one skill which you need day in and day out. You have to persuade your friends, your family, your kids, your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend, your mother, father, all relatives, your co-workers, your bosses, people who are working under you. You are always dealing with people, and persuasion is one of the very very important skills you have to learn, especially if you're in business. Okay, technology, learning a little bit about technology, how things work, social media, maybe building a website, uh, how the latest technology works. It is always good to know. Okay, uh, and then he talks about proper voice technique, something I'm trying to pay attention because I'm a coach. Talking is my um, what can I say? Talking should be my skill, right? Because I talk to people, I coach people, I have to learn proper voice technique, voice modulation. Okay, so One of the things I want to share here is maybe let me see through the pages. Okay, psychology is a big thing. Like if you just go on internet and search cognitive biases, you'll understand how our mind works, how people are thinking, why we do certain things certain way, why people do certain things certain way. Sometimes it may seem very irrational for you uh, when person is behaving in some way. You may also behave in certain way, and it's a very very vast subject. The more you learn about it, uh, the more beneficial it will be. Okay, and yeah, anything else if I want to share? Okay, about conversation. Conversation. This is again something which I struggled with um, because I was shy and introverted person. I have been shy and introverted person all my life, so I did not understand what to talk to people. Okay, so there is one more book which probably I'll read after this is How to Make Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. So it's a very very useful book for people who are shy and introverted and struggle to talk to people like me. It's always best to talk about the person in front of you. If you have nothing, uh, it's better not to talk about you much, but talk about the other person. You may ask if you meet a stranger, ask their name, where do they live, what uh, do they have a family, what do they do, what kind of have work they do, what habits do they have, maybe do they have any travel plans, things like that. If you ask because uh, the people want to talk about themselves. That is, they are expert in themselves. They may talk for hours and hours about themselves. Okay. Um just pray that the other person is not shy and introverted. Otherwise, you'll have a difficult time because I have faced this. Okay, and to be a good conversationalist, that is what you have to do. You have to be curious and show interest in the other people, and you have to show genuine interest and curiosity. Otherwise, the person will be turned off. Okay, a few things not to do in a conversation is uh, ask too many questions. It shouldn't be like an interrogation. Don't complain too much. Okay, don't talk about boring experiences. Don't talk about uh, you know don't dominate conversation. Let the other people talk. Let the other person talk. uh, don't get stuck. Don't keep on dragging one topic for a very long time. um, Planning is not conversation. Planning is not really conversation. uh, Keeping sad stories short. Nobody wants to feel sad. People want to avoid uncomfortable emotions, sad emotions. Medical, talking about medical stories. Let's say you were hospitalized about. If you keep on and going on and on about that, the other person will get bored. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share. Again, there are a lot of things I've read. Okay. Yeah, probably. Okay, one more thing I want to share last, and then I'll end this live. About persuasion, he shares powerful persuasive words and phrases. He also goes on to explain each one of these. These are because. Whenever you ask something to someone, if you add because and give a reason, even if the reason is not really logical or doesn't make much sense, uh, people will more likely oblige because it comes off as you are reasonable and there is some reason you're asking something. Would you mind is again one more thing. Instead of ordering something or asking someone to do something, If you start with would you mind, most of the people will be persuaded to um, oblige to your request. I'm not interested. Whenever you got, whenever you get these sales calls, marketing calls, I'm not interested is the most difficult thing to talk you out of. Okay, if you give some other reason, they will have a script. They are trained in that. They will somehow engage you in conversation, and probably um, make you buy stuff, or at least um, eat your time. Okay, I'm not interested is the best thing to use. Uh, and whenever you are having an argument with something, or let's say you want to um, put an argument, you can use the word I just wanted to clarify. Okay, that will let the person put his guards down, be open, instead of being defensive whenever you're talking to someone. Thank you. Thank you is a very, very persuasive word. But what Scott shares is how you say thank you is what matters. Okay, when you thank someone, if you do it with, if you do it wholeheartedly, um, then it will land well. It will do better. And if you thank someone, they are more likely to do more stuff for you. Okay, and people like to be acknowledged for doing something. If they did something for you, they like to be acknowledged, and that is the way. Thank you is one of the best way to acknowledge. And let's say if he shares an example, it is always best to add something personal there, or something of something how it helped you. Let's say you want to thank someone. If you come to me for fitness coaching, and I help you with, let's say, fixing your diet. Okay, and if you just say thank you for fixing my diet, if you just say thank you, it is okay, but not the best. If you say thank you for fixing my diet, uh, that is better. And if you say thank you for fixing my diet, you have saved lot of my time and effort, and you have put me out of frustration. If you say this, this will be more persuasive. That will make me, that will make me do more for you. Okay, that will pique my interest in helping you more, right? So this is about how you say thank you. If you say thank you to someone, always make it more meaningful by actually sharing how it has been helpful, and the person will feel really good about it, and he will help you more, right? So this, I think this was the longest live I did in the last 18 days, because I covered a lot of things from the book. So I hope you found this insightful if you're watching this live, and if you're watching this as a replay, and if you've come this so far, thank you so much for being here till the end, and investing your time, valuable time. It's been almost 34 minutes. I started this live. Um, Thank you again for joining this live or seeing this as a replay. I'll come back with a new live probably tomorrow. Till then, have a good time and see you. Bye bye.